When Kenny Dillingham said he would activate the Valley in his introductory press conference, he meant every word. Since then, Dillingham has made appearances all across the Valley on several different occasions. Starting less than a week after being hired, he went down to Desert Financial Arena to support the ASU basketball team as they began Pac-12 play. In his first appearance as head coach, Dillingham wasted no time getting his message across, taking center court for a halftime speech, challenging Sun Devil fans to step up their support around the community. Later that month, Dillingham headed just down the road to another new attraction, Mullet Arena. Dropping the puck around the same time he dropped the bomb on the transfer portal, lighting the spark of the fire to come.
Yeah, you mentioned that rough stretch, Stanford series loss, Washington State series loss, and it really just came down to the strikeouts. It was a similar problem, actually, that the Sun Devils had over their losing stretch a little over a month ago. It was the strikeouts. They had 4 double-digit strikeouts over that 6-game losing stretch, and then ultimately accumulated to 61 total strikeouts. But now they've shortened up their approach. They've locked back into the zone, and they have been on fire lately. The grounds crew carries quite the equipment load to keep the Sun Devils' backyard in shape, including a broom, shovel, and many other larger items such as the grass mower and sand pro. Yet none of those tasks amount to the difficulty of maintaining the water that gives the field its luscious green color. From 1900 until 1983, the Territorial Cup had gone missing until it miraculously resurfaced here in the basement at the First Congressional Church of Tempe. Nobody quite knows how it went missing for so long or why it resurfaced in the basement of a local church, hence why it remains a mystery to this day. For head coach Zeke Jones, he knows what it takes to find success at the lightweight division. A 3-time All-American at 118 pounds for the Sun Devils and a member of the 1988 National Championship team. Now as the head coach of ASU, Jones has consistently produced high-caliber lightweights such as Josh Kramer, Brandon Courtney, and the emerging Richard Figueroa, who has burst onto the college scene this year with 3 wins over top 20 ranked opponents. The Sun Devils now improved to 8-0 in games when Van Dersen scores or assists on a goal. Herron Douglas's resurgence comes just in time as ASU currently sits at number 19 in the NCAA RPI poll with the postseason just around the corner. Jack Coletto is the Swiss Army knife that has been carving up the Devils for years. The Oregon State utility player is one of just 4 finalists for the Paul Hornung Award, which is annually given to the nation's most versatile college football player. His versatility is what has posed such an immense challenge for the Sun Devils on both sides of the football. Yeah, it's kind of funny, Riley. It's almost been the same sort of dynamic with the hitters, is that they've been trying to focus on hitting too much stuff outside of their control and outside of the zone. But now that they've trimmed their aggressiveness, what's inside the strike zone, they have been like no one else successfully at the plate. 39 runs on a combined 50 hits over this winning stretch. It has been incredible, their success. Ryan Campos leading the team with a .714 batting average over this stretch. You combine that with Luke Hill, who's leading the Pac-12 in hits currently as a freshman. Can't believe that. And then you also add that to the transfers like Luke Keeschel, Wyatt Crenshaw. Just top to bottom, this lineup is loaded, and it's electric to watch. Getting to that point of the Super Regional against Oral Roberts, you played a big factor in that game one, having 2 home runs to lead the biggest comeback in Super Regional history. How would you put into words what that moment meant for you, not only for you, but just for the program as a whole? All you've known since you took over as commissioner is that the Corvallis Knights have won the West Coast League. What is your take on their championship success? You've played at Mount Hood CC, played now in the West Coast League. You've crossed paths with some pretty cool people, including Riku Nishida at Mount Hood CC. What was that like to see a star in the making before he flourished at Oregon? You also, not only just on the field, were given hard, you were giving back to the community as well, serving as a volunteer at your church and then also at youth basketball camps. How important is it for you to give back to the next generation? Joey going to Oregon State, you going to U of O. Is there any shot shooting every once in a while?
That's a lie, yes.
And after that, well, we all know what happened, the COVID shutdown and all of that. You ended up, spending some time starting an apple tree farm. How was that whole experience, and just what drove you to do that? So we got to check in since the pandemic. How have they done? How have they grown?
So they've been doing really well.
Both of those home runs came with 2 strikes and 2 outs. How do you have the confidence to be able to still lay on a good swing in that moment? You guys have had a slow offensive slump over these past 3 games, but you get the pregame message here from Joey, backs against the wall, knowing the pressure's on you for the playoff push. How much did that motivate you guys coming into this game?
Oh, I thought that motivated us hugely.
That's the dream, just to continue to play as long as you can. But I know you're a smart kid. You're valedictorian in high school, so I know you got your good head on your shoulders. When it's all said and done, whether that be 20 years down the line or 2, what's your plan to do after baseball?